ahead of us, and we are already welcoming Lambo and SKillous. It's their last chance. Oh, nice, bravo. All right, let's go with some questions. One quick one. So I wanted to ask Lambo, what do you think about Cristiano? Did he leave like positive impression? Did you expect such a strong performance from him?
No, I did expect it. Yeah, he's quite scary in ZvP. I know him from the ladder. He's also a grinder. He's still improving. Honestly, he held a queen block that I didn't think he was going to hold, and that, to me, in itself is quite impressive. So yeah, he played well.
So you were pretty scared when you were losing 1-2, I guess, right?
No, I wouldn't say I was scared.
Nice, okay. Still confident, still nice. And SKillous, did you expect making top 4? Were you like confident, like, oh, I'm surely one of the best guys here, or was maybe perhaps top 4 your basic plan, and it can only go better from here?
No, it's already more than expected. Like I thought maybe I will finish top 6, but top 4 is a very good result, but I hope I can do even better.
Good job then. Okay, guys, so let's not waste any more time. Let's clash, let's fight. And yeah, Shopify Rebellion Lambo against Team Liquid SKillous. Let's go.
Let's go, and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Fusion Esports League, the FVL Cracov 2025, the first of many, I'm sure, to come, as we have been hosting this big offline event happening over in Poland, happening in Krakow, and we are reaching the tail end of the broadcast. With the reaching the tail end, we have 3 series left. We have we have Rainer waiting in the grand finals, we have Clem waiting in the lower bracket finals, and we have our lower bracket semifinals. Let's go. Let us go. We have our lower bracket semifinals. We have Lambo and SKillous facing off in a best of 5. Bearing in mind, we have a best of 5 lower bracket semis. We have a best of 5 lower bracket finals, and then the grand finals, I believe, is a best of 7? Question mark. I will double check. Yeah, best of 7 grand finals. So 3 series remaining. Best of 5, then best of 7. Let's go. Let us go. As was stated when it comes to the interview, the very brief interview, Lambo, he just made it over Cristiano. It was a very clutch series, went all the way to the ace match, but we'll see if he can replicate that success. We'll see if SKillous can instead overwhelm and overcome. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. So we are getting into our next series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player himself representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this best of 5, I mean, after seeing that previous series against Cristiano, I'll be honest, I do rate SKillous a little bit higher than Cristiano. So if Lambo had a harder time there, I do lean towards SKillous. At the same time, SKillous was being very humble previously. He was like, oh, you know, I was kind of expecting like a top 6 finish in the tournament. I'm happy to be top 4. You know, I've already exceeded my expectations. Maybe he himself not feeling too confident coming up against Lambo. I do think these two are very closely skilled. I expect this to be a back and forth series. I'm hoping for a game 4, hoping for maybe even a game 5. Maybe. Let's go. For now, we're calming down, we're settling in. We have our hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Lambo. Lambo, of course, take the unnatural natural. Meanwhile, SKillous back at home, going for his own gate expand into Cybercore. Standard opener out of SKillous. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a disrupted opener from Lambo. But welcome once again to Pylon. Jeez, we're back. We're here. We're back. Now, if you recall, in the last series, I was speaking about Pylon itself, talking about how it favors aggression, and I was expecting an all-in out of Lambo. We didn't get that, though. We did not get that. Lambo, he played it out pretty macro, I wouldn't say safe, but pretty macro-oriented, going for initially Roaches, then into Ling Hydra, then into Lurker Tech. So we'll see if Lambo does go for the same overall style, overall build, or if he does deviate, and if he's this time more aggressive. We'll see how he does mix it up. We all know that Lambo, he has a lot of builds up his sleeve, so he can always mix it up and always kind of change routes and always look to deceive his opponents and keep his opponent guessing. Here we go. As we do have our Stargate opener out of SKillous. Does open Stargate, to be expected. Stargate opener into a third base. We'll keep an eye on any earlier tech structures, earlier Twilight Council, earlier Robo. We saw the early Robo build out of Cristiano last game, last series. We expect to see that at some point from SKillous as well. As things they do slip into the bases. Slip into the natural. SKillous does react in time. Oh! Getting a Zergling. Zerglings are cleaned up, the Oracle's on the way. A shout out, of course, to those working behind the scenes at the Fusion Esports League at FEL. I believe other games were taking place and being featured at the event. Other esports. Shout out to Infolet, I believe that they were organizing the signings, of course, for the teams, for the players, which I believe have since concluded. Oh. So we go. SKillous does move out. Again, did expand behind this. We have more Oracles on the way. Is going to threaten a dive. Behind this, we have our Twilight Council. We should be seeing a forward. Should be seeing a standard follow-up here. SKillous does commit to the shade. Gets a couple of drones. 1, 2, 3 drones going down. Not bad. Still waiting for a forge, by the way. Where's the forge? The longer this goes on without a forge, the more I'm suspecting this to be something other than just Blink. We'll see. There's potential here for Glaives. That's a lot of gateways there. Things are cleaned up. Meanwhile, there's going to be 5 drone kills across the map. And show us what you got. Okay, it's going to be Blink. It's going to be Blink here. But a heavy delay on +1. You know, it's been a really long time. It's been a couple of months, I believe, since I've seen 8 Skates Blink. Since I've seen like an 8 Skates Blink all in. That used to be really meta last year. Like, where you'd like mix it into a series. And there was even a time where it was very trendy as well. Maybe like 3 seasons ago. But it has fallen off, has fallen out of favor. On a map like Pylon, if you recall, I kept saying how I favor aggression here. I mean, that's going to be a lot of gates. We do have, what, 4, soon 6 gateways finishing up. We'll see if we throw down extra gateways. We'll see if SKillous does commit. Basically, the signs that we're looking for here is no gases. I mean, no gas and no forge, right? With no gas, with no forge, this screams 3-base all in. As without any forge, there's no upgrades, there's no longevity here to this, there's no extra tech, no extra gas for something like Storm or Disruptors. But there it is. Late forge. Late forge by SKillous. Oh, it's still so delayed. SKillous does move out. But again, this is just a really quirky build out of SKillous. That's going to be a kill. Oh, not a cancel. The hatchery goes down, Queen as well, catching out the Overlords. Ay. Yeah, big loss there for Lambo. Behind this, Lambo attempting to get into Ling Hydra. Ling Hydra is amassing. Lambo rallying out. And SKillous, he's now taking his gases. Lings do scout, they do confirm this. Charge as a follow-up. SKillous still pushing across the map. It's a decent chunk of Blink Stalkers. Hydra production has yet to begin. Just purely Link to defend. And more Zerglings coming in from behind, coming in for the surround. But SKillous, he should be able to blink away. One Oracle is targeted. Yeah, bit of miscontrol there from SKillous. Didn't pull away in time. What that Lambo holds. Lambo, he's holding on. SKillous likewise is kind of stumbling his way into the mid game. Like it's been a really interesting kind of style from SKillous. I mean, it still has a high stalker count because of the initial build. He did sacrifice upgrades and tech to do so, but hey, I mean, he's killing queens and getting into the mineral line. Oh god, yeah, it does get into the mineral line. The Oracle does go ham, and Lambo he will lose his space. Lambo he will lose his expansion. Again, a bit of a quirky build here from SKillous, but he is catching Lambo off guard. Lambo losing Hydras, Lings, mineral lines, queens, losing everything. And again, you can see how fragile, how vulnerable these Hydras are. Can he get the expansion? It's gonna be close. Let's get 11 workers. Lambo does hold on, does save the hatchery. Behind this double expanding. These are still some shaky trades. As you can see here, 10 stalkers for 9 hydras, 59 lings, 2 queens, and 11 drones. SKillous was hyper efficient. And behind this, working towards Storm. At the same time, I believe lurker tech should be on the way. Not yet. There, I don't see a lurker den here. Not for Lambo. No lurker den. No infestation pits, no hive. Does get some transferring workers. Nice, still a run by. Trading well. Takes care of all the Zerglings. Main army tools left hand side. The base is low from earlier. He wants it. Doesn't want the expansion. Storm is coming in. Oh, the Templar! Yeah, Templar almost exposed. Nice control here from SKillous. Does save the Templar. Does save them. Storm's coming in. Oh no! Yeah, as Lambo, he's holding on the right hand side. Bailey's now coming into play. These storms are still brutal. And GG gets called. Lambo, he is broken. And SKillous will take game number 1. GG. Again, SKillous was just pulling Lambo apart. Lambo just had a very hard time keeping up. Yeah, again, Lambo taking a moment. And SKillous kicking things off with a win early on. Again, SKillous had a little momentum, was being hyper aggressive. We were pointing out the build. It was a really quirky build. Like, I was so confused. I was like, is this all in? Is this not? I was convinced that it was. It was very committed. I will say that at least. It was a very committed build just because, of course, we saw that there was no forge, no upgrades, no +1. It was heavily delayed tech as well, but really early, really high stalker counts. And he was able to find some damage with it. I wasn't convinced he would, but no, he was able to. Remember, he killed the 4th base initially, then he got a mineral line, then he picked off 59 Zerglings. Like, he was able to trade very nicely. And Lambo was bleeding out too much, bleeding out far too much. And with that, we are getting into our next game. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have our red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself, the German Zerg, representing Shovel Rebellion. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss player himself, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is SKillous. Go. So we could be settling in. To have this time Lambo going for his hatchery on location, does go for the extractor trick to get his hatchery a little bit faster. This time will not be forced to expand elsewhere. So a much more comfortable start here from Lambo. Much more comfortable. Players are settling in. So now we do have our standard openers. And again, we'll see if... I mean, as we load into Tokamak, it's a much larger map. I don't see SKillous going for the same build. Going for this, like, crazy delayed forge and gateway explosion, 6-gate blink into aggression. It was quite successful on Pylon. And again, as a reminder, you know, I do favor aggression on Pylon, or aggression is just favored on Pylon, which is, I'm sure, why we saw it out of SKillous. But here on Tokamak, we should be seeing something more tame, something more defensive, something more mid to late game oriented. That's what we should be seeing here from SKillous. More so than last game. So players are setting up. So our third base being taken. Lambo claiming his third. So keeping up with the adepts. It's keeping up. Oracle is on the way for SKillous. So again, does open Oracle. Should from here could be just going for a second, potentially even a third Oracle. Adepts say cancel the shade. They head into the mineral line. One drone goes down. He gets one. He gets two. Oh. There you go. Two drones go down. Can he get more? So far, SKillous trading well. Does shade away. Yeah, two drones. Picks up a couple of Zerglings. Pulls back. The Oracle moves in. So did the Adepts. Does not get into the mineral line. Not this time. Yeah, not this time as the Oracle. Ooh, does get into the mineral line. Does get 1, 2, almost 3 drone kills. Spore late to reposition, but the Oracle does take a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Does get away. Does barely get away this time. There you go. Twilight Council, extra gateways. Third base still on the way. This does feel like an earlier Twilight Council. Now, as opposed to the previous game. Remember, last game was 6-gate blink. It was 6-gate blink. Oh, the Spore! The Spore is still quite in position. Another 2 drones going down, another 3 drones even. But this looks more like Glaives to me, at least. There's no Forge once again, but the gateway count is a little bit lower. It was a little bit of a later Twilight Council as well. We'll see. Nah, never mind. Look at this. 2 more gates. 6-gate setup once again. This is the same build as last game. Two games in a row. 2 games in a row. This should be Blink. I mean, again, it's just such a high gate count. There it is. Blink is on the way, so same build 2 games in a row. Now, I'm not too fond of the idea of doing the same build multiple times in a series just because your opponent is a little bit more acclimated to it. Likewise, this aggressive build won't be anywhere near as strong and anywhere near as potent on this map either. So I'll be honest, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced by this, but we'll see. Meanwhile, safety Roach Warren out of Lambo. We didn't see this last time. It is going to be a safety Warren. That means that if it was Glaives or even a charge-based opener, then Lambo would be ready. Which one does complete? Lambo's turning. Skill should be building up those stalkers. Now the oracles do trade well. Perhaps they cancel the shade. Which production has begun. Here come the stalker reinforcements. And SKillous, he wants at least the 4th. He wants the 4th base. Can he get the queens as well? The hatchery taking a lot of damage. Is going to go down. Takes down the hatchery. Threatens a shade. Gets into the mineral line. Whilst they do connect for the most part. Lambo, he does defend. He defends, he holds on. Meanwhile, ooh, that's going to be a cancellation here at the 4th base once again. Take it down the 5th. Oracles are hoping for another cancel. SKillous getting caught out, losing a Stalker. A nice wing control. SKillous gets away. Does blink out. And Lambo, he holds. He defends his expansion. Behind this, he's taking up quite heavily into a hive and into lurkers. So this time, we do see that Lambo's being very greedy. Tech-wise, at least. He's being very greedy, taking up as quickly as possible into lurker tech. We'll see if SKillous can break Lambo before the lurkers hit the field. Is Lambo being too greedy here? Hydra production has begun. So everything's going down. Roaches are exposed, and this might just be too much. Remember, there's no +1 with this, but he's getting on top of the roaches. Oof. There's a lot of roaches going down. Queens as well. As the queens, they somehow survive this, all of them on barely any HP. But he can dive in. Like too soon. Not quite. Not with those leading reinforcements. Blinking away. Blink away. And again, the army here for skill is just getting better and better. Storm is almost done. Zealot's tanks so well. And here go the storms. Oof. Yeah, just bullying back Lambo. Lambo, he has no room to make any lurkers. He has the den, but he needs room to breathe. It just isn't happening. Oh god, another storm pops up. More Hydra's going down. The base falls as well. Lambo down to 3 expansions. And barely an economy. Here comes the first lurker. The first lunker is coming. The lunker. He's almost there. He needs a little bit more time. We got 2 lurkers on the way. It's going to be what the revelations are for. Oh, as he does win again, gets 1. Takes down 1, takes down the other lurker as well, and that's going to be it. That's just going to be far too much here. SKillous with hyper aggression. He breaks through the main army twice, both in game 1, now here in game 2 as well. This time a little more decisively, and GG gets called. SKillous, he will break through, he will overwhelm, he will take a 2-0 lead. GG. GG, well played. I'll try and do a better job at showing it off. Actually, hold on, I can actually rewind. There we go. Fist pump there out of SKillous. Looking strong, looking powerful, Pappy. Looking powerful. Oh. Here we go. We're getting ready here for our next game. Lambo is up against the wall. He has to win this game here and now to make a series out of this. Otherwise, it's going to be over. Otherwise, it will end here and now. And again, we haven't really been able to get into our own games. It just hasn't really happened too much here. As we've been ending things a little bit earlier. Lambo's been trying to tech up and trying to get into his own lurker attack, but he just hasn't gotten there. Time and time again has been denied. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3. of our best of 5 lower bracket semifinals this morning. In the bottom left hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the German Zerg player, we have the Red Zerg representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0 and 1 game away from claiming the series and advancing on to the next round. It is SKillous. We go. Este Nikita. Same build 2 games in a row, and I'll be honest, at this point I don't blame him for not doing it again. We're just going for game 3. Welcome to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is similar to Pylon. Ultra Love has a short rush distance by ground. It does favor aggression. There are some defensive features like the ramp coming into the natural, or the choke point that can be fully walled off by knocking down those rocks, by knocking down that tower. There are definitely some defensive features, but overall you can be hyper aggressive here on Ultra Love. So I would not be surprised if SKillous does go for the same build. Does go for it once again. So he's just stretching. Don't forget to stretch. Don't forget posture check as well. True. Posture check in the chat. Look after yourselves. As we're calming down, so far standard openers are hatch gas pool, nothing crazy out of Lambo. Likewise, gate expanded to Cybercore from the side of SKillous. And again, welcome to Ultra Love. Now, something that I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised by is that Lambo, he has been the punching bag so far in this series. Like, Lambo's been playing very normal, very standard, at times maybe a little bit safe, at other times maybe a little bit greedy. Last game, he was a little bit greedy in the sense that he was being very greedy teching. He was taking up very quickly into Infestation Bit, into Hive, into Lurker tech. At least he was trying to, but Lambo was punished for that greed. Is now the time for Lambo to switch gears and to go for a Queen all-in, right? Does he Queen all-in here instead? We'll see. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But at the same time, SKillous has been being a little bit safer here. By going for earlier blink, by going for the gateway explosion. I mean, we'll have an army to work with. Early. We are building up. Adepts Seduced into the main. Gonna be denying mining, but nothing major. Oh, gets a drone. Gets 2. 2 drones going down. Not a bad start here for SKillous. Does force a gas geyser, forces out a spore. Oracle comes in from behind, gets it's up to 5 drone kills in total. Not a bad start here for SKillous. Behind this early Twilight Council, that's a Twilight Council in line with the 3rd base. Again, if this was a normal player, I would assume this is for Glaive Adepts, but because it's SKillous, I have to make the assumption this is for +1. This is for Blink. This is gonna be for Blink Stalkers. Lambo back at home, going for the Eva Chamber. This does screen +1 melee, so it looks like Lambo does plan on going into Ling Hydra, which can trade well against Mass Blink Stalker. There it is, melee's on the way. There we go, we have 4 gates in production, 6 in total, and going into Blink. So once again, 6 gate Blink out of SKillous, 3 games in a row. And every single time he has successfully killed the 4th. Let's see if we can do it again. So Oracles do poke out. Poke out. We do have a safety bait on the way, thankfully, for Lambo. Lings, they clean up all the adepts. And we are waiting for those stalkers to amass. They're building up back at home. Soon SKillous is going to move out. Checking his vision. He has yet to confirm the 4th base. Yet to determine where it is. I'll get there. As he does attempt to move out. Lings, they do harass across the map, but so far SKillous, he does fully wall off. Very nice defense from SKillous. So that's away the Oracle. SKillous now finally moving out. Behind this, the layer is just now finishing, so it's purely Link Queen. Purely Link Queen to defend. With enough Zerglings, Lambo can pull this off. And you can see how well Links can trade against Stalkers. Blinks on forward, timing on the Queens. Oh, this I'm not so sure of. It takes out all the Queens. The Oracles, now they can go ham. And they wreak havoc, but Stalkers are still going down. It's still going to be somewhat of a trade. Nice Blink control. But for the most part, it looks like he's going to be cleaned up, and Lambo, he will hold. Oh, we'll lose one Oracle. One Oracle goes down. The final Stalker falls. And again, that, on the one hand, it was a decent trade, but that was 13 Stalkers for 93 Zerglings. That's a lot of Zerglings. But at the same time, the Stalkers, they were gas intensive, they were expensive. Here comes the next wave. We'll see if that was good enough. Still running into a wall of Zerglings. SKillous moving out. Once again, does find some of the Queens. Yeah, does get behind the middle line. The boys are being pulled. So far, the Stalkers are holding. The Stalkers are getting quite low, but here we go. We do have high ground vision. Stalkers, they blink up the ramp. Oof. You know, most of those Zerglings. Once again, though, he's going to be throwing away all these Stalkers. These are still expensive trades here for SKillous. Yeah, the trades are expensive. And Lambo, he's holding. He's surviving. What's important is that he hasn't really lost many workers here. There's a lot of Zerglings, don't get me wrong. But he's still got his economy. And we'll see if Lambo does commit. Overlord speed is done, so we can go for Drop Lord play. He's on 4 base saturation. He's massing up purely Ling Hydra or Ling Bane Hydra. As they catch a High Templar. He gets 1, he gets all 3. All 3 Templar go down. Massive pickoffs. With that Storm, he kind of push. If it wasn't for that move, if it wasn't for that surround, potentially SKillous could have broken the 3rd. Could have ended the game. Depending on their Storms. And here we go. Lambo, he's maxing out. So a little bit supply blocked. But Lambo, he's on 80 workers. You can see that Lambo is not going for an infestation bit. He's not going for a lurker den. He's not going for a hive. It's purely a lair all in. Purely just a lair tech all in of Ling Bane Hydra. As Lambo is just purely building up in this army. And depending on the storms, I mean, even then, I don't know if there are going to be enough storms. So we get a couple storms. Meanwhile, the Bailey's are trying to get on top of the Templar. Oh, can he get in? Oh my god, massive connections. 3 out Templar do go down. There's 2 out Templar left. And Lambo's done it. Lambo, he's done it. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Lambo, he will break the expansion. He will break through the main army. SKillous, who was heavily reliant on those storms, and the storms were not good enough. High Templar were caught out of position. And the base has been broken. And breaks the 4th. Consolidates his army. So they're always doing what they can. Yeah, and with that, I mean, SKillous needs a lot of time here. If Lambo is passive, if Lambo allows SKillous to get his 4th base up running, then sure, then SKillous can make a game out of this. Fleet Beacon into Sky Toss. It's not gonna be easy to turtle. I mean, it isn't easy. There it does hit the Nexus. Now we're rolling in. Down goes the base. Now once again, if these storms are somehow insane, Mailings, they're making it through. They barely don't make it through, actually. But there's still so much more Ling Bane. GG gets called, and Lambo, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. Whew. GG. GG will play. That does fight back, does put a point on the board. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Again, a very intense game here between Lambo and SKillous. As we did point out, SKillous, who was losing too many Stalkers. Unlike the previous games, SKillous, who was just throwing away wave after wave of Blink Stalkers. And these were losses that he just couldn't afford. He could not afford those losses. In the end, he was shut down. And Lambo snowballed from there. So now getting ready here for our next game. Getting ready. As the next game is going to be on Ley Lines. Let's go. Ley Lines is coming up next. And this wouldn't be a bad map to recover on. Let's see how SKillous and Lambo will change their approach, as they have been adjusting. They have been adjusting so far. Let's go. I'm ready for it. This camera loading in. Part of me wouldn't mind just having the series a little bit sooner to get into the Clem series. The other hand, of course, the other part of me wants the ace match. Wants the ace match. Wants the game 3. Take it all the way. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the blue Protoss player for Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1, still 1 game away from claiming the entire series and advancing on to the next round. It is SKillous. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player for Shopify Rebellion, from the land of Germany. It is Lambo. Once again, stretching. We're just getting ready here to jump in. Again, SKillous, he's done the same build 3 games in a row. I just just want to get back to that just very quickly. SKillous has been going Stargate opener into a third base into a fast Twilight Council with a 6-gate blink. 6-gate blink every game so far without failed has been the same builds and the same opener out of SKillous. We have seen Lambo adjust slightly in the last game, going for something more Ling Hydra heavy and into faster Ling Bane Hydra, which was quite successful, is what I will say. And we'll see if SKillous is forced to go back to the drawing board and go for a different kind of opener instead. Here we go. So we'll see if SKillous does it 4 games in a row and just commits, and whether that's just what he enjoys. Again, Lambo has been attempting to react more than anything to what his opponent does. These things do poke in. Also, I might actually use the clean feed from the next series moving forward. We'll see. Depending on where my mental faculties are. Because if you recall, I was expecting this to be a 12-hour cast, but we're nearing up 11 hours. It's gonna be like 13 to 14 hours back. Where, no. We're going the distance, back. We're going the distance. Let's go. So now everything's looking normal. We're still waiting for the third base from SKillous, and then we're waiting for the Twilight Council. And we're expecting it to be like right after the third. Nexus. See if it does hide. It's tech. And what he goes for. Just tabs on the Overlord. Oracles are moving out. There it is, early Twilight Council. It does feel like the same open. Oh, never mind. That's gonna be an earlier forge. Okay, okay. SKillous mixing it up. Now because the Twilight Council was so early, I'm leaning towards maybe +1 in charge. Typically we'd get a little bit later if it was +1 in blink, but we'll see. My timings might just be a little bit off just because it's 5:30 a.m. I'd be a little bit off. Meanwhile, Eva Chamber here out of Lambo going into +1 melee. So it's going to be +1 melee into Ling Bane Hydra, or just straight Ling Hydra out of Lambo. SKillous does move out. Moves out. That's going to be 5 gates being thrown down. Jeez, that's a lot of gateways. It's going to be 6 in total. So 6 gate setup of +1, and yep, charge. So +1 in charge on the way. If you remember, we did mention that we did feel like this should be charged, not blink, just because of the +1 and because of how early that was. And fun fact, this is designed to punish a player that skips banelings and that skips roaches. And I do actually really like this build right after the last game. What I'm getting at, against specifically Mass Blink Stalker and Stalker Aggression, what do you want as a Zerg player? You want Ling Hydra. You want Ling Hydra as a response. You don't really want roaches, you don't want banelings. If you can get away with it, you want to get away without using. And likewise, here we do see this. We do see that, again, because of the series so far, because every game SKillous has been playing Blink, the last thing that Lem is expecting is charge. That is the last thing. Nice around. But as a result, there's no nest. There we go. Now he throws down a bane nest. He just saw the research. He just saw the upgrades. He's now aware that something is wrong. So the Eva chamber has now begun. Oh, sorry, the Raining Nest has now begun. Here comes SKillous. Is moving out. Ducklings moving in. They do hit the third, and not bad, undefended. Does get to the middle line at the same time. SKillous is pushing across the map. SKillous has pull away in time, force defensive weapons. Meanwhile, Lazy get a full surround. Stalkers are going down. Yeah, no control there, no blink. SKillous, he was distracted. And Lambo, he's all over this. No shot. He shuts down every single Zeld. At the same time, he takes down the mineral line. Again, all is shut down. And Lambo, out of all this, he has a base. He has a fourth base. He's freely droning, freely saturating. Lambo so far looking good. Getting ready for his own bust. Setting up. Bailey's going to be rolling in. We have Bailey's here towards the mineral line. Zealots, they can't quite engage. Not too freely. SKillous does force back the main army, at least for the time being. Again, still waiting for the Hydras. Still waiting for the Hydras. SKillous does pull back. SKillous is expanding. Again, he's slowly building back up again. Fleet beacons on the way. This feels a little bit desperate. Basically, SKillous, after taking some losses early on, his goal here is just turtle. To turtle up until he can make use of that tech. Seeing some spotted. Spotted. Oh, catching at the Oracle. Let's catch him out. Lambo setting up here outside of the fourth. And again, this is going to be a very difficult defense for SKillous. We don't expect him to defend this at all. You can see the supply disparity. That's just how heavily the early game went in favor of Lambo. The initial setup just didn't get quite much done. There we go, takes down the Nexus, and there's nothing to stop him. I'm sure we have some swords coming in that will help. No fourth. See in chat, someone asking, how's Clem versus Rainer? Long games? No. Very short. Clem vs. Rainer was a very short series. And we might get a rematch. Oh. This game's going to be going... Oh, as the base does full once again against skills just going to expand. He just cannot expand. That's just not going to happen. Lambo is maxed out. And again, there's the risk you take that when you rush into charge like this is you have to make it pay for itself. Forcing out a storm. Storm is forced out. SKillous trying to keep up. So the mothership. Okay, buying time. He does hold on to the third at least, true. Let's move that. Same time, Bailey's heading into the middle line. Oof. Take down the shield batteries. And from here, SKillous, he's coping a little bit back. Yeah. Un poquito. There's the fourth once again. And just like the entire series has been playing out so far, a lot of it just comes down to the openers. Yeah, Zidas get fully surrounded. Hydras, they collapse in from every angle. GG gets called, and Lambo, he will tie the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match here. Again, a really strong start from Lambo to shut down the aggression of his opponents. We saw that SKillous was going into charge, and there was definitely potential with charge as a timing, but alas, we saw that he was shut down. Lambo was able to respond with Bailey Nest to be able to get ready. To get ready for the aggression. He's able to shut it down. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're now getting into the final game of the series. We're getting into the ace match. Getting into game 5. Getting into game number 5 here. The final game of this best of 5. One way or another, it all ends here. It all ends here. All ends between Lambo and SKillous. As a reminder, the winner of the series does advance on the face of against Clem. Clem is waiting for the winner of either our Zerg or our Protoss. Here we go. Oh. As the final game is going to be on torches. Oh boy. Again, one of the more crazy maps out there. One of the more crazy maps. A big shout to Natsman in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 4 months with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. And do apologize for being a little bit low energy here towards the tail end of this series. After we cut to a break, I will go and wash my face. And do some squats and wake up. We'll get there. We'll make it. We'll make it. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of torches, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, being forced into the ace match. He was up 2-0, by the way. He was up 2-0. He had a strong start, but now has been forced into game 5. Can he bring it back? For Team Liquid, it is SKillous. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player mining through the mineral patches already from the land of Germany, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. Here we go. As you can see, Lambo, he mines through the patches. He does rush into the gold, and the gold is going to be taken. This is a little more standard here on torches. And the rushes to spike ground and by air is very short on this map. We'll see how SKillous does try to punish this. I'll be honest, I haven't really casted many ZvPs on this map, just because it's often vetoed, so torches is a rare sight to begin with. And ZvT, I feel like even less so. Or even more so of a rare sight. As SKillous does confirm the gold. Does confirm the gold base. And again, we'll see how he reacts. We'll see how he punishes, and he will have to punish this gold. Although his Lambo will get away with the boosted economy. So here we go, the gold is getting up and running, it's getting fully saturated. Meanwhile, Lambo so far staying in gas, getting at least link speed, I would assume. From here we can go into like a roach based all-in, we can rush into a lair. Link speed is on the way, pulls out. Okay, he pulls out of gas, so he's not going into banelings, he's not going into roaches, he's not going into lair or even +1. Are we just expanding? Are we? It's getting link speed. Is it so far? See if that's working. Don't get anything major yet. Going to be deflected. We're staying soul. SKillous is poking in. Behind this, going for Stargate opener. Playing standard. Again, the gold is getting fully saturated. Now we see Lambo taking a third base. Has yet to pull back into gas. But he's just walking in. Okay. He's thinking about it. We have our links. They do peel off towards the left hand side, looking down those rocks. I'll take it slow. Settling into our 2 bases. We do see the Lambo, he's droning up actually. Okay, so Lambo, despite setting up for aggression, despite knocking down these rocks, he's droning. He's droning up his third base, he's macroing out of this. Based on the setup here, skills, yeah, the Twilight Council is going to be a little bit later. Don't really have a way to get much done here, so yeah, the pylon goes down. Better start for Lambo. Comfortably getting up to the gold. Not the easiest thing to accomplish. So far, SKillous is holding on. How many gateways are we building up towards? So far, just 4. So just 4 gate blink into a forge. Oh, that's sorry, 4 gate blink. Into, I'm expecting to see a forge. Never mind. Going into 6. Still fully wall. And last Lambo does attempt to break open that front door. Going for the gateway, okay. Same time, Lings, they do distract at the 3rd. Being broken. Nice force field, buying a little bit more time. As Lambo, he is barely breaking through, yet does bust down that front door. He busts into the bases. Yeah, breaks in. He breaks into the natural, breaks into the main. Going specifically for all the pylons and for a couple stalkers. As there we go, pylons are going down. There's 1 pylon left, but the natural depowers everything in the natural base. Let's go. And here comes the rest of the all-in. Again, Lambo behind this. He is not droning. He's droning up to 40. That's it. So only 40 workers. As he commits into the main base. And again, SKillous had such a strong start to this series. Such a strong start. But it all did fall apart. GG gets called. Lambo, he will claim this series in the end. He will take it to 3-2. Advancing on to the upper bracket semis. Or upper bracket finals. GG. GG. Well played. You can see there, Lambo. Actually, well, they were right next to each other. I didn't even notice. But you can see them within the cameras. Does shake his hand. Does claim the win. SKillous is out of the tournament. He is out of the Fusion Esports League. GG. GG. Well played. Congratulations. Oh. Congratulations here to Lambo, as he does claim the series. Again, just we had a bit of a more aggressive start by Lambo rushing into the goal base, but it didn't immediately pay off. He cut workers early. He cut workers, I want to say, at 40, like around 40 drones, and he just went for a Ling Virtual in. I do really like that Lambo, he was attacking multiple locations at once, forcing SKillous to kind of split between the bases, and almost at times convinced that something else was going on, that something else was amiss. And with that, he was just torn apart. He was not ready at all for the build of choice, not ready at all for the move outs, for the all in, especially to knock down that expansion, or knock down that wall, I should say. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. As we are going to be going in a break. We're going to be cutting to a break here, and when we come back, we'll have our next series. It is going to be Lambo. It's going to be purely ZVTs, potentially, or even a ZVZ. It's going to be Lambo up against Clem. Lambo versus Clem. They're going to be facing off in a best of 5. Meanwhile, the winner of that series goes up against Rainer in the next round. Oh boy. Here we go. Lambo versus So we're going to be cutting to a break. When we come back, we'll have a next series. We'll have a next matchup. See you soon. See you soon after the break.